Yeah, now he's with me.
We're inside the beautiful home of Julian in the beautiful city of Miami Beach, where we just finished a brand new metal Riffe roof. This is an aluminum Kynar paint of reflective white. And I'd like to ask Julian a few questions about the company and how everything came out for him. Julian, what roofing problem led you to call Istueta Roofing?
Well, when we bought the house, we had a tar shingle roof, and that was about 8 years ago. And it had several leaks, as we learned when we had it inspected. So we put a new roof on it. That was just 8 years ago. Within a year, it was leaking again in some of the same places. And we had it repaired, and a few years later, it was leaking again, and we had it repaired. And we just, at some point, decided that it's a losing battle. We really need to re-roof it again. So then we began looking for a company that could do a quality job, and we liked the idea of having a metal roof. So I ended up asking around, looking at different companies, getting quotes, and it turns out that a friend of mine, who I know is very, very particular, he needed to re-roof his house, and he, after also interviewing many people, chose Istueta Roofing, and he gave me very, very high praise for the company.
Good.
So we felt very comfortable in proceeding with Istueta.
Thank you. And Julian, I also wanted to ask you, what was it about Istueta that actually caught your attention? And as far as, I'm pretty sure you did your research and you looked around, what was it about us that it stand out from everyone else that you might have had in mind of coming out and doing this for you?
One thing that stood out in particular, and my friend had told me about it to some extent, was the degree of professionalism in coming to review the job, talking about the different options that were available, and then the presentation of the quote was very, very professional. We got basically a whole report of what could be done on the house, and that ended up being the basis for the contract. And that was very important in the deciding factor. Furthermore, my friend had told me about how the job had proceeded on his house, and he said, you know, you'll be amazed at how they lay out materials and clean up after each day, and you're not going to be dealing with the mess of all the pieces left around on your driveway. So the whole process proceeded in a very clean and professional manner.
So another way to say it would be like by the time you came back, at the end of the day, it looked like the roofers were never there at your property.
That's right.
Great. That's what most people are looking for.
Yes.
Nobody wants to see a whole bunch of material laying around and tar all over the place. When you get home, you have to call these guys to clean up better the next day.
Exactly. That was never the case.
That is really good.
No problems.
Julian, another question I'd like to ask you, as far as the office staff, starting from the day you made that first phone call to Carlos, as far as the office staff, the client representative, which it was Omar Santana, the project managers, the project team, everyone that came out here, what would you say about that? What was your experience like with that?
Yeah, well, of course, Omar was the first person that I met, and he was the one who reviewed the house and prepared the report and answered any questions that I had initially. And he was terrific, very attentive and very professional. Likewise, production staff and all the people who came here, you know, also very, very professional. They always came on time, came when they said they would. We had some you know, unusual weather to deal with during the job, and that wasn't really an issue. I was always advised early in the morning whether the work was going to begin or whether the weather issue. You know, the job proceeded as expected. So.
When you had a question, you got an answer?
I sure did. I forget, did you ask about office staff? I really, I think I may have had to call once. I don't know. It was not, there wasn't anything about the job where I was left wondering where I needed to call, but I think one time I needed to reach you, and they answered right away. It was not like I was chasing anybody.
Right, great,
So,
great.
So.
What will you tell your family and friends when you recommend Istueta Roofing to them?
Well, what I can say is that you know, if you're looking for a company that is very reliable, they're going to come and do the job when they say they are and the way they say they are, and not going to be aggravating you by leaving a mess or you know, the common problems that you have with many roofing companies, as we had when we had our repairs in the earlier time with this roof. If you're looking for something that will be fairly easy to fit into your life, because roofing, you don't want it to be a major hassle, you will enjoy working with Istueta, and the result when you're done will be a very, very beautiful roof.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you for having you. Thank you for allowing us to be able to be your roofers of choice. And I thank you on behalf of Istueta Roofing. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.